Okay, so I thought I'd better give you more detail and context here so you have an idea of what I mean about dropping the T4 back and increasing the T3, which is exactly what I've done. Basically, I started it a week ago. So dropping back the T4 is, or even considering to lower the baseline, makes complete clinical sense based on my history. Now everyone's different, but I was on 75 mcgs of T4 levothyroxine, and I increased that 75 to 100. Now that baseline failed me miserably, and my body temperature was still frozen, my myxedema was active, and I was still severely constipated, like I am right now still. So basically what was happening, the T4 was already giving my system enough raw material to turn into reverse T3 and block my cells. So that's basically what happens. Faster clearance of reverse T3. So if you drop your T4 dose, it stops your body producing more reverse T3. So that's why I've dropped my T4 dose. I've lowered it right down to 37.5. Okay, I don't want to take it out completely, and I did consider taking it out completely, but apparently your body needs some T4. So that's why I'm not taking it out completely. And because using the thyroid medication, levothyroxine, takes such a long time to really take effect in your body and in your cells, 3 to 4 weeks, it's better to do it over a process. So I didn't want to completely drop it out and realize that I still needed some. So, because it did help me in the beginning, remember? So that was back in March. It did help me in the beginning, but then it failed. So it could have been because the dose was too high to begin with, because I started off with 50 mcgs, and then I got a little bit of result and wasn't getting enough result. But that might have been because my body started converting it to reverse T3 already. So I started on T3, right, which is cytomel. And so giving my T3 receptors a much cleaner chance to unblock over the next 3 to 4 weeks. So active T3 is doing 100% of the work at the moment, and increasing T4 did 0 for my symptoms, while increasing active T3 was the only thing that actually nudged my waking temperature, and it moved it from the 35.9 up to 36.2, which was a nudge up. But so far, I have not seen higher than 36.3, which is what I got today, and reducing the myxedema, bloating, and all that. So it is a trial and error over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Because T4 clears out so slowly, the transition typically plays out over the first 7 days. I likely won't feel a massive sudden drop in energy from lowering T4, because the excess T4 is still circulating in my blood. Weeks 2 to 3, the circulating T4 drops, reverse T3 begins, levels begin to fail. So the reverse T3 in weeks 2 to 3 should start to be gone. Hallelujah. And the active T3 that I'm taking, which I take daily, 3 times a day. And it's so difficult trying to take this medication because you've got to take it away from food. an hour, at least 2 hours after food, and an hour before food. So that's really difficult, taking it 3 times a day. So hopefully in weeks 2 to 3, start having an easier time binding my cellular receptors without as much interference from the reverse T3. So by week 4, my blood levels of T4 and the T3 stabilize at the new lower baseline. And this is when a clean reading of whether your body temperature metrics improve on the lower T4 and the steady T3. So I've thrown in a mix, as I said, with the LDN, low dose naltrexone. Now, I've not doing it with the help of a doctor, but from what I've researched and studied, it's worth giving it a try, because for some people it helps tremendously, and some people it doesn't. So to me, it's worth giving it a go, because it might mean that my body starts switches on. Because ultimately, in the end, don't forget, your body is meant to heal itself. You just got to give it the right environment to heal it, right? And the only way you can do that is through trial and error and trying different things. So I'm trying low-dose naltrexone. So I've had to do it. Yes, I've had to buy it black market, because I'm in Bali, don't forget. And I've had to dilute it in distilled water and do it that way, and do it. And I'm only taking 3 mils, minuscule dose, twice a day. I've had to split it up because it does affect your sleep. So I'm doing that twice a day, and I'm on day 6 of that. Yeah. So far so good, and slight temperature raising. So like I said, I highly suggest you get some sort of wearable or smart ring and monitor your health via a smart ring, because you can monitor your body temperature, which is one of the ways that's really important way to monitor. So as far as the trying T3 or trying, you can, I highly recommend giving it a go. And you can, I think in America you can get medication through your doctor where you get T3 and T4 combined, something like that. I know you can in Australia get T3 through your doctor, and when I go back I'll be doing that. I just haven't been able to get it here. So it is an absolute physiological fact for a body that has been in severe long-term metabolic freeze, which is me. I've had cold hands, feet, been cold for a very long time. T3 simply might not be enough to break through the resistance and restore normal cell function. If your cells are profoundly down-regulated and starved of energy, which mine were, your tissues can absorb the entire 75 mcg dose just to keep the vital baseline organs running, I'm on 75 mcgs at the moment, leaving zero surplus energy to wake up the smooth muscles of your gut or push your waking temperature up to the required 36.6 to 36.8 minimum. That's the minimum base it should be. The complete lack of bowel movement, which is a constant thing with me, that's complete slowed metabolism. So this is very much to do with receptor downregulation in severe chronic cases of tissue hypothyroidism, myxedema, which is my bloating and my swelling. The receptors on your cells become highly resistant. It can take significantly higher therapeutic doses than the standard replacement amount to essentially force the cellular doors open and trigger a response. So there's a clearance bottleneck until the cellular energy rises enough to warm the body completely. The gut muscles remain paralyzed, which is my situation. Taking more laxatives or magnesium won't fix it, because the underlying mechanical issue is a lack of metabolic fuel, not anything else. So that is unfortunately the situation there. Okay, so I do suggest that you have a go at taking your health into your own hands and monitoring and trying some things yourself. If you can get a functional medicine doctor to assist you, I'd highly recommend that. Unfortunately, here in Bali, I haven't got that. Don't have access to that to help me manage my Hashimoto. So that's why I'm taking it into my own hands. So I'm monitoring using testing, because I had all my tests done just 2 months ago in May. But now we're in July, so really, yeah. But I'm testing, I'm monitoring my health using a smart ring, and I suggest you use get some sort of wearable where you can test what your temperature should be. So basically, and same with your HRT. So not HRT, resting heart rate, HRV. Yeah. So basically, my resting heart rate. So really my resting heart rate typically should be sitting in the high 60s to 70s for my age and the amount of time and the amount that I work out and I train, and mine's not. That's because everything's just sluggish and slow. And same with the body temperature. My body temperature should be sitting up at 36.6, somewhere between 36.6 or 36.8 to 37. So, yeah. So that's what we're working on. We're monitoring that along with my stress levels. So that's the good thing about a wearable. You're able to, this alerts me on my phone, or it lets me know when I am too focused or going into stress, the red stress level. And I know to take time to breathe and try and bring my stress levels back down, because with Hashimoto's, your stress is super important to keep in line. It's one of the things, you're raising your cortisol, and having high stress really causes a lot of inflammation in the body and does not help your Hashimoto's situation. So, yeah. Your body is a very fine mechanism, and I'm finding it still all trial and error. Still all trial and error is what's going on with me. So I'm going to keep you posted on this. That's the best that I can do, and hopefully I can come back in a couple of weeks' time with more positive news on the way I'm feeling, energy levels, body temperature, HRV, and yeah, hopefully would have dropped a little bit of weight. Myxedema weight would be nice. Yeah, I just, yeah, not liking not feeling like myself. Doesn't matter how much you work out, how healthy you eat. Hashimoto's, it's just, yeah, it really is debilitating. It really is horrible. Okay, gonna leave it there. Okay, bye.